Alrighty, y'all. It is Monday, March 17th, St. Patty's Day, technically. I forgot. And yeah, I owe y'all a couple. Okay, the neurofeisties right now are like bouncing back and forth between feeling an eerie sense of like calm because the pattern recognition is super kicking in at this point, and we can now just see everything that's happening next. So like we're not as freaked out because we can see it, but at the same time it's driving us wild because we can see it. And we're still waiting for everyone to catch up. Okay, like smart elections. Smart elections. People are hopping into my comments going, when are you going to talk about this? I'm like, because I talked about it in November and everyone said I was crazy in the Lulu. That's why. I talked about it back then. I talked about it all the way up until they exchanged the keys to the kingdom because I was like, there's no way. There's no way that they're ignoring this. And then I realized and learned the hard way that, yeah, they let it all happen. So there's no real point outside of getting other people more aware. That is important. And other people can take up that mantle right now. I already, all my videos are still up. But I'm not going to pick up that mantle again because at the end of the day, the facts, the data, it doesn't matter. These people, they admitted to what they've done. They've admitted it multiple times and then they go and erase it from the internet and then they deploy their followers to argue with you in the comments and gaslight you on their behalf. At this point, they're doing it for the fun of that because remember, these are narcissists. So whenever they need a fix, they're like, oh yeah, let's admit again that we totally did this thing. Yeah. Admission. Okay, now bots go out there and tell everyone that it's a conspiracy if they repeat what we just said and that they're crazy if they give that any serious thought. And then we're going to wipe it from the internet so that they start to wonder if maybe it was made up. And then whoever still has clips of it, just say it's AI and it never happened. That's what they're doing. Okay, they're literally fucking with everyone. It's not funny. So that being said, that's why I'm not really talking about numbers and math anymore because while yes, it's important to the public to notice it, like courts, legislators, etc., nothing. Okay. And when I say they're not going to do anything, I've seen folks go, well, courts can make orders. Yes, they can. And the regime has said they don't care about the orders. Like, realize how normalized they have made this. You are now at a point where they are saying, yes, all power should be with us. No, we're not going to obey courts. In fact, somebody get rid of that judge. No, they're standing in the way of presidential power, which is kingly power and absolute, and no one should be able to. They're just making illegal claims, illegitimate claims. Forget what the Constitution even exists. And we still have people going, is this a crisis? Do they mean what they really say? I don't know. I guess we'll just have to vote them out in 4 years. Like even Team Blue, Chris Murphy is starting to say, you guys, we don't even have a year on this. This is not, like you could see who is in on this or who they have stuff on. Kardashian. She just tanked her career because somebody has something on her. I think there's a handful of people on Team Blue that someone has something on them as well. And then there are folks that are just bought and paid for. And the ones that aren't in on it are the ones that are starting to say, hey guys, this whole like decorum, haha, this is not, the people are pissed. I'm pissed. Why are you guys still chill with this? So you're starting to see the lines in the sand of who, But yeah, this thing where they get louder. What is that saying? If you have to say it, if you have to say you're classy, are you really classy? If you have to declare yourself the leader, are you really? So if you have to keep threatening American citizens by telling us you're coming, Tom Ho-Ho Man is coming, okay, Pam Bondi is coming, they're all coming for everyone. They're using taxpayer dollars to come against American citizens to defend a South African. Whoops, I'm sorry. South Africa no longer claims him. And did you hear that he's over there trying to play the pity party on that as well, going, well, they don't like me because I'm white. That's why it's reverse rate. They don't like you because you've embarrassed the nation. They don't like you because you're a schmozzy and a supporter of apartheid. They don't like you because you came over here and then started shitting on them over there. And then they took your stuff because you're an embarrassment. And so now you want to claim that it's just because you're this and not because you're horrible. And that basically sums up most of them. And then they turn around and want empathy, right? Feel bad for me. I know I said fuck your feelings, but all of you need to now have feelings that support me right now because I need them. I need it. Energy vampires. The lot of them, darling. The lot of them. That's why, like I said, in one of the other pieces, the narcissists are coming out in droves right now because a lot of them voted for this. And a lot of them are being directly negatively affected by what they wanted. And these are their idols. So they now have this forced reckoning where their delusional bubble is being pierced because it's their own actions and it's the people they worship betraying them. And they have to pretend they're good with it. They have to pretend they support this. They're not going to admit that they have regret or that they shouldn't have done it. They don't do that. So they're reaching out to their empaths and their neurofasty friends for that fix, that suck up of energy and that transfer of negative energy where they need to blame you. Double points if you're a progressive, liberal, Democrat, whatever you want to call it. They're really coming for you right now because they know that you have, and I told you so in there. Even if you're not saying it, they know that you have it. Like, oh gosh, what's the word? I'm tired. I was going to, figuratively speaking. There we go. You know what I'm saying? Like, they know technically you were right. And even if you've never said it, they know it's in there. So they're coming for you hard right now, and they're trying to rip down everything about you so that you don't feel superior in the fact that you were correct. And they are now suffering. And then, like I said, they can't admit that they're suffering. They're fine with this. They're fine losing their job. They're fine losing their benefits. They're fine losing this. Although that's starting to fall down. Well, for the narcissists, it's not. But for the ones who did this because they just thought other people was going to be hurt. I don't know if you saw the folks in California, the county they were interviewing, where it went red for the first time because of all these things they thought they were going to get. And it's still amazing to me that anyone believed what these people said. It was... Okay, separate. They all wanted to, they chose to believe it. They wanted to believe it. And now they're like, yeah, without Medicaid, my prescriptions are $20,000 a month and I only get $1,100 a month. I'm like, yeah, well, any price. They're like, I'm not going to live for very long. I'm like, that any price, right? Any price? Like I said, that's the price now. The price is you. You're the price. Still good with that? Or... we're ready to take that back. And a lot of folks are still good with that. A lot of folks are still good. Real quick, too. I haven't been harping too much on some of the more horrific headlines that are meant to make us upset. Namely being the twin students, the boys who went missing and were found. Okay. And I'm starting to see the community start to get, kind of right, because one of the more gruesome, more horrific examples. And I don't want to ignore it, but there is no going into the streets for these things. These things, it cannot be us. So it's just a reminder that they are kicking it up. And I'm not saying they did this, but in terms of the marketing of it. If you've noticed, they try something for a couple days and it doesn't work and it goes away, right? They tried to shake us up by saying they were going to release Barabbas. Nothing happened. They let it go. Then they jackhammered BLM. Nothing happened. They're moving on. They're wiping us from Arlington and they're wiping us from the military. And, like we might complain online, but we're not in the streets yet. So it's going to keep escalating to things where they try to poke us to get us out there so they can whip this thing and start coming after us. And then it's game over. If we take any of their bait, we meaning us, it is game over. Now, everything they do from here on out is because of those dangerous, violent blacks who went out and rioted just because of those boys. And then, it just gets insult to injury. They start trashing the victims, blaming the community, riling up the hood people. You know what I'm saying? The hood people that are white, not the fun kind of hood. Well, I shouldn't say fun hood, but you know what I mean? The closet hood, not the place hood. And so we can't do it. So I haven't been talking too much about those headlines. I want to focus on the fact that these illegitimate clowns are getting louder because they are failing. They're getting louder because they don't have respect. They're getting louder because they know it's crumbling around them. And so when bullies start to see everything failing, they get louder. They get bullier. They get more demanding. And at this point, all you have to do is watch it implode and continue to march, to meet, to fight back, to hold the legislators as accountable as possible, and to continue bringing up that American spirit that we're all supposed to have, that we all said we would have when we were back learning history in school. That